Hello, thank you for coming to my video. If you would like to help my channel grow, please like and subscribe, and please click on this little bell icon so you never miss a future video. Welcome back to the next video, my Let's Play the Halo series. We are now playing Halo 5 Guardians. So right off the bat, a lot of these features were not in the game when the game came out. I don't believe the Forge mode came out of the game until months later. Multiplayer did not have a custom games browser. They actually added that recently. And another thing is, this is the worst freaking thing they could do, is there was no split screen mode at all, campaign, multiplayer, or whatnot, in Halo 5. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, this is 2015, or whatever freaking year the game came out. You know, get with the times. Well, no, bullcrap. First off, Halo was built on split-screen multiplayer. I mean, that was the foundation of their multiplayer. Second, if you're a parent wanting to play games with your kids, or if you have two kids and you want them to play games together, and the system, which was like a $300 or $400 console at the time, you're not going to buy another console and another copy of Halo. You know, you're going to buy them an extra controller and say, here you go, share. And now they can't play local multiplayer. You know, what garbage. And that, I really want to do like a whole video on the decline of local multiplayer in video games, and how like a new generation of gamers that are, you know, playing video games are suffering, or are going to suffer because of it. You know, it's like, you know, when I was a kid, we had Contra and Super C, Double Dragon 2, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Yes, I played Mortal Kombat as a kid, screw you. Halo, whatever else. And now there's, you know, new console games that it's like you have to have, it's all based around online multiplayer, but there's no way for your kids to play each other, or father-son to play, or whatnot. Mario Kart, for example, you know, split-screen Mario Kart. So you're starting to see it come back a little bit, but for a time, it was just on a sharp decline. But let's get into the game real quick. Start over a brand new game here. Start new mission. So first exposure with Halo 5 was the Master Chief Collection. I believe I played it at a friend's house or something, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if I ended up buying another Xbox when they had the beta live or not. I don't remember. But wasn't too impressed. So it was okay. It was what it was, but we'll get into that when we start playing some multiplayer. But I mean, the game was based around trying to be an esports game. So it wasn't built on being a traditional game. It was basically, it took the changes that it did in Halo 4 and basically doubled down on them. So right away, the cutscenes are really good quality. I mean, like that Halo Wars, Halo 2 Anniversary style cutscenes. So
They'll order you to kill us both.
Kind of flashes back to the creation of Cortana. And right away, the story in this game, I'm just gonna go around, just start off right off the bat. Halo 5 sucks. This game is crap. I mean, it's better now. It's a little better now, you know, that like DLC and whatnot has come around. But when this game came out, it was crap. I mean, the game wasn't buggy or anything. It's not like matchmaking didn't work. The matchmaking definitely worked, but the main character in the game is actually Locke. It's not the Master Chief. I mean, you play as the Master Chief a little bit, you play as the Master Chief as the end, but you're basically playing as Locke. So, of course, it has the return of Buck from Halo 3 ODST. Nathan Fillion returns, reprises his role for the voice. But the story is just so horribly told. It doesn't really fill in the backstory of Locke too much. You know, you just kind of left ambiguous to kind of figure out who this character is. Looks a lot like Luke Cage now that I think about it. Yeah. What a funny coincidence. But to get the backstory on Locke, you got to watch that Halo 5 web series they did, which really wasn't that good. And it relies way too much on other forms of media to fill in the story of the game. The other forms of Halo media doesn't enhance the story. It's basically the story's dependent on it, and really horrible. So core gameplay is still fun. I mean, they definitely nailed the gameplay of the campaign. As far as like the new features they added, we'll get to that. Kind of an interesting cutscene here. Still fighting Covenant. Still. Here they are skydiving. And I think they took a little too much inspiration with Red versus Blue. It's like, oh, here we are just skydiving these, you know, quarter-ton armored cyborgs flying down, and all of a sudden just landing and then skip surfing down a snowy mountain. I mean, those later seasons of Red vs. Blue had some really cool fight scenes and stuff. And right away, it's like they try to kind of looks neat, it looks cinematic, but to me, it looks kind of ridiculous at this point. Just kind of like skipping down snow and whatnot. I don't know. This I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate and dislikes for this, but to me, this just looks stupid as hell. Because here you are, you're gonna be playing a role of a character that has to hide behind cover and not get shot, fall off of a certain map. I don't even remember if there's fall damage in this game or not. But here's like these. I don't know. It just looks stupid. Here. All right, here we go. Right here, we're gonna start with the gameplay. Skipping down the mountain, whatnot. That's kind of cool looking. Dropping from the sky, from orbit, or from way high up. Not taking any damage. But this will kill you. Where's the logic in that? Yeah, so that's why I don't take that seriously. If they'd have like an invisible wall or something like that, yeah, I'd probably take the lore of the game a little more seriously. But yeah, it's like when Locke and Master Chief are fighting, like having like the little one-on-one fist fight later. It's like, okay, am I supposed to feel sympathy for them getting beat up? Can they even get beat up after falling from orbit and crap? So, and the graphics of the game, I mean, the lighting and everything. The graphics overall look pretty good. The lighting looks pretty good. The lighting looks great. I mean, you know, the game was one of the first games on Xbox One X to support 4K and I think HDR. But the graphics and all this stuff, even like the Covenant technology and all that kind of stuff, I don't really care for the art style. Don't like the art style. Don't like the sound effects. It's like that modern Call of Duty. I don't even like it in there either. It doesn't have that realistic feel to it, you know, with like the gun sounds and whatnot. The lighting and the HUD, it looks too much like Tron. I love Tron, but just like that art style. And it worked in Halo 4 the way they did it because it separates the Covenant and the Promethean Forerunner technology. But here it's like applied everywhere. Everything's glowing too much and outlined. I mean, it feels like you're playing Halo World of Tron or something. I don't really care for it. So here's one thing I did. I'm gonna show a kind of hit myself with a grenade real quick. If you see me running, okay, it doesn't do it in campaign. It does it in multiplayer. If you're running while your shields are down, it will not refill your shields until you stop running. So you actually have to like stand still or walk for your shields to refill. And that's a way to balance out the running. I actually like that change. So it doesn't make running feel too powerful. I actually thought they should have did that in Halo 4. So another thing they did is they added like this little, instead of armor abilities like, you know, your bubble shields and your jetpacks and whatnot, you kind of got this little quick boost jetpack, which you kind of had as one of the armor abilities in Halo 4. But in this one it's standard. So, I mean, it's okay, I guess. So if you're sprinting, you can also hit your melee button and shoulder tackle. It's okay, I guess. But one thing they also did, I can get up here, just to kind of show it off. Hit the melee button, and it does this ground pound ability. What is that crap? I don't know if people actually like it or not. I haven't really followed this game. I only really played it like within a couple months after it launched, and maybe an occasional game here and there. So I don't really follow the community or anything. So I don't know how people like that ability or not. But to me, it's so shoehorned in. It's basically like, oh hey, Destiny came out. They added all this really cool abilities for all these characters. We gotta add something. I don't know what to add, but we'll add something. So, I mean, the controls and abilities and everything, if it wasn't a Halo game, if it was like a brand new IP that someone else made or just something brand new, I think the game would be a little more respected and people would appreciate it more for what it is, and it might actually be decently good. But in the Halo game, it takes it too far away from its roots. It's like and I brought this analogy up before. You look at Counter-Strike Go. I mean, it made improvements to the formula, but in the end, it was still a Counter-Strike game in its core. And this is not a core Halo game. So, but you know, as a traditional Halo game, it's like, well, at least it has really good story, because, you know, the Halo games have had good story. Even Halo 4, which, you know, not the best, still had a decent story to follow. This game, nah. Nah, it's crap. I mean, I played through the campaign in this, and I cannot remember the campaign too much. I mean, Master Chief kind of goes on his own. Cortana turns out to be alive. Turns out to be a villain. You chase down Master Chief, you fight him, and then also you let him go, and then he fights Cortana. That's all I remember. So I remember it's nothing memorable. Has very little character development, very little sympathy for the characters. The commercials leading up to the game were so freaking misleading. Honestly, the commercials for the game had better story than the freaking game itself. I mean, this is just horrible. You have these big, you'll have these big Guardian Forerunner-ish things coming out that look like this giant robot thing. I don't even remember what they did. I don't even think they did. Oh yeah, they added this climbing ability, which, yeah, I guess is okay. See, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been too bad is if you're playing multiplayer, if there were ways to disable it. Like play a custom game, you don't have the running, you don't have the dashing, you don't have that ground pounding thing like this. So, none of the weapons were memorable. But I mean, at least he brought back Buck.
Move smart. Fire with a purpose.
So that's good. I like Buck. Oh yeah, and Buck's a Spartan now. They don't explain that. They don't touch up on that at all. So I'm sure it's in a comic or a web series or something you have to pay for. In case you can't tell, I don't really like this game. I don't even remember why I bought it originally. I know I didn't buy it at launch. I don't remember if I bought it on sale just to play through the story. I don't remember if a friend talked me into it or what. I know one of my friends played it, and we played it a little bit together. Brought back the Promethean weapons. They're alright. You got your squad with you. At least your AI partners are decent in this. Oh, and they bring back the Arbiter from Halo 2 and Halo 3. That's kind of cool. They don't really go much into it. I mean, it's like, oh, well, the Covenant, you're fighting the Covenant again. You're fighting the Elites. But what happened to the Arbiter? Oh, hey, look, you can side with them. But why are they fighting each other? So, obviously there's some kind of Covenant civil war going on, but they don't really expand on it too much. So basically when the game came out and you paid $60 for it, the multiplayer was missing a lot of features. Forge wasn't out yet. The matchmaking playlist was limited yet. You didn't have Big Team Battle. It didn't feel like a full $60 game. And the story was lackluster. I mean, the story... God, like, talk about Destiny's story. It's pretty much the same thing. Trying to remember which story was worse. But so yeah, and they went with this new art style of Halo, which I've already complained about, but they did the same thing with Halo Wars, or Halo Wars 2, I mean. I'm still trying to decide whether to cover Halo Wars or not. I probably will. So you're like if you're inside this Forerunner little facility, the art style kind of makes sense. You know, things look more sleek and advanced. But
similar. I convinced Commander Palmer to outfit us with prototypes.
let's see, which way am I supposed to go? Is it here? I was talking, wasn't paying attention to the commentary.
See anything on the Artemis?
Or we go up there. I haven't played this since, not launch, but little, there we go.
Let's see. This should do it. Doors open.
The Artemis did the trick. Look, listen to this. They're assaulting the back of the temple, bringing the Kraken.
Kraken sighted.
So, I'm actually going to skip straight to the Master Chief gameplay. Got to play the character that people actually care about. It has online co-op, so that's nice. So here we are. Master Chief reunited with his Spartan 2 blue team. At least the music kind of fits more with the original Halo, so that's good. That's not too bad. And one nice thing about the story is it kind of focuses more on the Master Chief and the Spartan 2s sticking together because they're more like a family. So that's about it. Cutscenes are good. Some returning characters. Honestly, if you want to know what happens in the game, just watch a YouTube video of someone putting together all the cutscenes.
Discuss that in private, Doctor. Palmer.
What has she done? How far has it already gone?
Good work, Osiris.
There's Dr. Halsey, missing a hand, which was in the Spartan Ops mode of Halo 4 in one of the cutscenes. Of course, he misses Cortana.
I haven't seen Chief press himself like this since we were in boot camp.
He's fine, Fred.
This many missions now.
I mean, there's a lot of backstory. They could have made the story really, really good. It's really disappointing.
Sierra 1172. Blue team has located Argent Moon. Signs of hostile activity.
Yeah, like the commercials for the game were more interesting than the story in the game. And the commercials, the scenes in the commercials weren't even in the game at all. I mean, so disappointing. This game got crapped on and deserved every bit of criticism. Well, almost every bit.
Here you go.
Thanks, Kelly. Everyone ready?
Affirmative.
You good?
Blue team, fall out.
Of course, they kind of have their jetpacks standard. They're not really jetpacks. They're just like little thrusters.
The Envoy are resisting. Throw the Envoy out the airlock.
Like I said, it's like they were a little too inspired by Red vs. Blue. Almost exactly, really. You know, like those later Red vs. Blue seasons that had the CGI action scenes and whatnot. They honestly should have made this game like a Red vs. Blue game. It probably would have been better. I like Red vs. Blue. It's really good.
What do we know about Argent Moon?
Only research station. Went dark 19 months ago.
That's, in fact, if I remember correctly, that scene was almost taken exactly from Red vs. Blue.
Return this station.
I haven't seen that in a while. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that series.
See central control. Eliminate hostiles between here and there, and deactivate gravity and life support systems.
Yeah, I mean,
Ship data center is just
with the
ahead.
exception of the art style, the graphics are pretty good.
Impressive. Looks like they were
So at least it's got that.
class vessel.
They lost years of expensive R&D with this station.
So we're not gonna play the campaign too much, because I'm gonna get way too bored with it. I'm cranky enough with this game as it is. They had like this floating effect when you're in the air and you're aiming, kind of float a little bit. AI is still good. I mean, Halo's always had amazing AI. So, Ooh, I'll take that sword. Thank you.
Data center is just ahead. Let's go.
Of course, that sword depletes pretty fast.
Data center.
We've got a complete set of data set keys for the station. We should be able to.
Of course, you got your standard
and find a path to central control.
bigger maps and your warthogs and your tanks and all that kind of stuff.
DataSec entry accepted.
Access the data banks. Grab the data and current population map.
Should be a straight shot to central control through
So
the
I do like the character interaction.
There's still prowlers in the hangar.
That's kind of cool.
Nobody from Oni got
It reminds me of playing Star Wars Republic Commando, where you have your squad of 4, and there's kind of like a character interaction between all your characters. That was a cool game ahead of its time. That was a really cool game.
Elevator.
Central control straight across this bay.
Everything's ripped up. They must be stripping that experimental ship for parts.
Scavengers, taking what supplies they can find. The Covenant's war against the Arbiter must not be going well.
Jul Dama is a lot of things, but he's no prophet.
Grab a shotgun
Most
here.
direct route to the shipyard is through the wall ahead.
Grab more ammo. Yeah, sprint and charge through this crap.
Contact.
So yeah, like right now I'm already bored with the game. And I think this is only the second time I've ever played through the campaign, now that I think about it. I don't think I've played the game since. So. I've played matchmaking every now and then. So. But I'm gonna hop on some multiplayer just to kind of show that off. So. I mean, it's definitely, in terms of length, I mean, it's a lengthy game, so it's the average amount of time you're playing the campaign. It's, you know, the same as all the other Halos, so it's a lot of the content is there. It's just boring. At least for me, it was boring. Maybe a lot of you guys liked it, but I didn't care for it. And there's a lot of other videos out there that kind of takes a more critic approach with Halo 5 and how it's added these features and how it changed the game and like the sprinting and all that kind of stuff. And even though I liked Halo 4 because Halo 4 to me was just different, but in a good way, I was able to enjoy it what it is. This doubled down on it, and I was wanting a more traditional Halo experience, especially with Master Chief Collection. People really wanted that game to work and be good, and the game was just not functional. And then this game comes out, and it basically just like, oh, okay, well, your traditional experience is crap, and it's buggy, it's not going to work, and we're not going to fix it at the time. And we're going to double down on the new style, and here you go. So Forge at the time was not in the game. Like I said earlier, they didn't add it for I don't know, months. I mean, it wasn't added to the game for months, but when it finally was added, they did a really good job with it. So we'll kind of show that off real quick. It's got a lot of really good Forge options, and it's definitely not an extension of Halo, the previous Halo's Forge. It appears to be built from the ground up. And I don't know if this was a whole new engine, or if it was built from the original engine, or what they did, but yeah, Forge mode in this is actually really good. One of the few things they got right. So good sized map here. I didn't realize I was grabbing and moving things, because they changed the controls a little bit for some reason. But yeah, little Halo in the background, so you're actually on a Halo ring. Let's see if I remember how to build stuff here. So I'm looking at the controls. Whoops. Okay, no fall damage. Let's see, how do we build stuff? Map options. That's just options for the map. Tool settings. Oh, I just saw it. Oh, there we are. So it's Y to build stuff instead of X. So all your various power-ups, a lot of customization. Different textures and stuff like that. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of customization here. Structures. Yeah, Forge mode was much, much, much different. Much more expanded. Let's see, how do I... Okay, so I can grab and move stuff around. How do I let it go? Okay. There we go. I'm just kind of messing around with it. I've only messed around with Forge mode like once. So I remember the one time I messed around with it, they made it so you can pretty much make anything. Oh, there we go. Hold down trigger button, you can move things around. You can pretty much make anything that you can imagine. Let's see. Leave Forge. And let's show off some of the stuff that people made. So one thing that they added recently, I want to say it's about a year ago, is a custom games browser, which was long, long, long overdue in Halo. So people just basically hosting custom games. So Let's join this one here. See if it'll let us join. And then we'll kind of get into like the core gameplay. So yeah, I don't remember why or how I bought this game. If I remember correctly, one of my friends ended up buying it. And then I ended up picking it up. I don't remember if it was on sale or what. Or if I just found it used. I might have found it used now that I think about it. And I picked it up like, well, I'm going to want to play through the story. So, and then I was getting tired of Destiny. And of course, Halo Master Chief Collection wasn't working. So in order to get my Halo experience, still wasn't working. Even though it worked for that little bit around the holidays the following year, where I had the Halo 144 playlist for about a week, and they got rid of that. So to get my Halo fix, I had to play Halo 5, which I played for a little bit and went back to playing Destiny and some Call of Duties and whatnot. So this is a pretty big-sized map. I was hoping to be like a smaller map, something with a little more features and whatnot. Brought back the pistol again, so that's nice. Got some cool structures they made. Let's find a different map. I want to find something a little crazier. Alright, custom browser. Jenga. Beer pong. Alright, let's check this one out. King's Pass, Castle Wars. Yeah, some of these custom games are really, really creative. I would love a custom games browser and Master Chief Collection. So, give this a second to load. Is it loading? This is loading game, so what can I say? I'm very impatient. So of course, connection. Oh, did it disconnect me? Waiting to join match in progress. All right, let's go back to what I was going to show real quick. Session timed out. Okay. Try one more game real quick. Something a little different and creative. Let's try this Jenga map real quick. Alright. So, that looks kind of cool. While that's loading, just like the previous, just like Halo 4, you can change your look and your helmet and all that kind of stuff. Prerequisites, we're kind of going to get into a little bit, but this is basically for the Warzone game type, I believe it's called. I think it's called Warzone. Settings, pretty standard Halo stuff at this point. Or pretty standard 343 Halo, I should say. Not traditional Halo. Got your Spartan ID, your emblems, and all that kind of stuff. Weapon skins. Can unlock different weapon skins. Which, I don't think I have any unlocked. It better put me in one of these games. Here I am praising like the one thing about Halo 5, a custom games browser. Won't even put me in a game. Alright. Alright, 13 out of 16 people playing. Let's try joining this game. Before I record this video, I did a couple matchmaking games to make sure the game was still playable and everything, so... I know it's not that. There we go. This is loading. Are we getting in the game? There we go. Yeah, so here's some of the cool stuff you can do in Forge. Kind of make pretty much whatever you can think of. And graphics on it, kind of bland compared to some of the Forge stuff in Halo 4. But... That's some product placement there. You know, at least there's some customization to it. Not too bad. Brought back the saw machine gun from Halo 4. I love the saw. Okay, go down here. Nope, missed it. This way, here we go. Ooh. Nice, this is a good snipe. At least the sniper shots sound good. But, I mean, that's basically the custom games browser. Just different variation of custom games that people can just create and join and come and go. So I was, you know, about ready to really praise it, but, you know, having issues joining a couple of those matches for some reason. So I don't know if I can praise it now. But we're gonna do some matchmaking now. We gotta actually play the game. I'm making this Let's Play Halo 5, and I'm not really playing it, so we gotta actually play the game. So, multiplayer, you got your social and your ranked. So, you know, just different matchmaking playlists. At the time this came out, it did not have very many at all. It did not have any big team battle playlists. So, and it was all kind of esports oriented. So, it was all kind of based around esports, because esports had gotten really big by that time. But, unfortunately, it just didn't really connect with the core Halo audience. You know, it's just funny because, you know, Halo 2 pretty much spawned the whole MLG thing. So matchmaking on this, you know, isn't too bad. It's not really buggy or anything. It's, you know, pretty easy to find a game. Even in the beta when that was out, it was pretty easy to find the game. And we'll kind of show it off real quick here. Maps in the game are kind of bland. They're all right. They're not too bad. There's nothing memorable. Overall, the game was just kind of meh. I see this map come up a lot. So you got your sprinting. If I grenade myself real quick to bring my shields down. So see that bar up there. Now if I start sprinting, that, you know, top yellow bar, That's how long it takes for my shields to recharge. So see, I'm kind of sprinting in circles right here. My shields are still not recharging because I'm sprinting. But if I stop sprinting and just walk or run like normal, eventually the shields will refill there. So, excuse me. So you at least got some of your Halo basics, you know, your melee attack and your grenades and, you know, standard Halo. So I don't want to sprint. Oh, thanks, buddy. I went as line of sight. One interesting thing is the assault rifle. You can actually zoom a little bit with the assault rifle, kind of like you're aiming down the sights. So that's a little interesting. Also got the little thruster ability. So if your shields are waiting to recharge, you can just kind of do your little thruster ability, and that won't reset your cooldown time on your shields. Pistol in this is kind of useful. So that's actually kind of cool. Pistol's actually a pretty good weapon in this. And it's really Halo 5. I mean, I know I said it sucked earlier, but it's not too bad. The campaign is what mainly sucks. It's a decent game, but it's not a good Halo game. It's a good game, but not a good Halo game. If it was a different IP, you know, if like this ended up being Destiny, you know, maybe people would be, ooh, a good no scope. You know, maybe people would be a little kinder to it, or if it was just a brand new IP or something like that, people would be like, "Oh, it's a decent Halo clone." But it is what it is. And if I'm not crapping on people that love the game, if people actually legitimately like Halo 5, then by all means play the game and enjoy it as much as you want. Like, I enjoy Halo 4, so. And I still enjoy Halo 4. I mean, I enjoy Halo 4 on the 360. So, but this game, didn't really care too much. I lost my interest for it really, really quick. So, but at least it wasn't a buggy mess when it came out. But one thing I did really, really like about Halo 5, and I thought it did really well, because I talked about the DLC in a lot of the previous games, like the map packs and stuff like that, and you had to pay for them, and then they eventually released some physical versions, or $10 for 3 maps. Oh, someone's inviting me for something. Or you pay $10 for 3 maps, and the maps don't really pop up in matchmaking, yet they were required for the playlist, and you felt ripped off. In this game, all the DLC is actually free. So that is one great, amazing thing. However, the DLC was funded by both microtransactions. I want to say the esports as well, but I think the DLC actually funds the esports also. Not the DLC, the microtransactions. So there's a lot of microtransactions in this game, which we're going to get to, and it's part of the Warzone mode. Let's see here. Let's finish this game and we'll show off the Warzone mode. I actually kind of like the Warzone mode. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, I forgot about they added the slide. Ah, you got overshield at perfect time too. Heat grenade. I completely forgot about that slide until someone did it in front of me. Yeah, they took that from Destiny and Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't know, I guess it's okay. But Destiny feels more like a Halo game than Halo 5 does. I mean, even though they both have like their special abilities and stuff like that, but I don't know, something about it just kind of has more of that feel. Maybe it's because Destiny was a new IP, and they can get away with doing things that are different and taking risks. Where Halo, on the other hand, still has to kind of cater to the core audience. Like, maybe if this was Destiny, if this game turned out to be Destiny, people might have been kinder to it. So, who knows? At this point, it's all water under the bridge. I remember, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, there was actually a classic Halo playlist, if I remember correctly. And I think it actually had the sprinting and that kind of stuff disabled, so it was more of a Halo 1, Halo 2 experience. Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3 experience. And that was kind of cool. There we go. No-scope them. I hope I'm remembering that right. I only played a couple matches of it. But like the sound effects, the weapon shots, and... Oops, didn't mean to throw that. I don't know, it's just... It doesn't feel like Halo. So... But like I said, I mean, if you enjoy the game for what it is, and by all means play it, it's not a bad game, it's just... It's not a good Halo game. So, I think they kind of looked at what Call of Duty was doing and just doubled down on it more. And so, but yeah, I mean, you look at that, it's going to be interesting to see what Halo Infinity is going to be like. So, I mean, I guess if I were to make, if I were to have made Halo 5, I would have took what Halo 4 did, but I would have made the Forge mode much more customizable. I would have had forgeable weapons, you know, change the look of the weapons and like the power, what kind of bullets they shoot, the speed. Just, I would have made the game as customizable as possible, and then had people host those games, and then just let people's imagination just run wild. So that's what I would have did. Now I remember the beta, when playing the Halo beta, when it shows like the victory pose and it showed like the team, like some of the members of the team would be like, yeah, you know, like kind of like posing all macho and stuff like that. So they kind of toned that down with the actual release. Okay, so now we're going to show off the Warzone mode real quick before we wrap this video up. Kind of a boring video, not really too much to talk about it, just because I didn't really enjoy the game too much, and not really this huge long story involving me getting the game. So, sorry it's kind of boring video, but that's kind of what it is. It's Halo 5, it's a boring story. So, basically, what the Warzone was... Well, I want to make sure I'm joining the correct Warzone here. Yeah, here we are. The matchmaking did not have big team battle, and I think they did it on purpose because they wanted people to play Warzone more. So it was basically the game's big team battle when it came out, and it was all based on microtransactions, kind of pay to win a little bit. It's been so long since I played it, so I'm trying to remember a lot of it. Like if I open up go to the packs menu and open up the packs, I would get various guns and stuff, and they have like a currency down there. You should look at the rec points, because I remember when I bought the game and pre-ordered, I don't remember if I pre-ordered or what. I think they tried to get me to pre-order it when I was at GameStop one time, and they tried to get me like whatever battle pass for like an extra 40 or 50 bucks or whatnot, and you get like a bunch of rec points, and I'm like, well, what even is that? Don't even know what it is. But and as we progress, we'll show it off. But basically, this is like it's basically the amount of weapons you have that you pick from when you start the game, and you only have a certain number of them. And as you get more of these, you get more of the weapons, and you can actually sell them for more rec points, which I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff that I really don't want. Hopefully I'm playing this like I remember. It's been so long since I played this. I hope I'm playing this right. Oh, starting the game. And okay, I sucked it okay once before. There we go. Now it's actually loading. And I actually like how the Warzone worked. You know, it's just kind of this big team battle game, and I like the structure of it. Kind of had like an RTS feel to it. So I actually didn't think it was too bad. I enjoyed it. Like, I remember when my friend and I picked up this game. I didn't have too many friends that bought the game. I only had like one friend that played it. But when we hopped on the game and played it, this was the only mode that we were really playing. So the maps are huge. I mean, the Warzone map is actually really good sized map. So it's kind of like, you know, territories, capture the base. It has like a classic. It's like Star Wars Battlefront, like the original Battlefronts, kind of. So I'm at, let's see if I'm trying to remember this correctly. We're at level 1 rec access. So we have our loadouts. So you got your assault rifle, your pistol, and then of course you got, as you hit level 2, you got assault rifle with different abilities. Like, see, assault rifle with projection sight and silencer, one with kinetic bolts, one with laser targeting, whatnot. So basically you can add like modifications to your weapons that give them different abilities. Let's see, press X to respawn. Let's respawn. So you start off, there's a bunch of NPCs around. You gotta, like enemy NPCs, you gotta take them out to gain control of the base. And then you basically take control of the other team's base. Kind of like territories in Star Wars Battlefront. So I think that's what why my friend and I were kind of into the game. Or into the Warzone mode. Because we used to play a lot of Battlefront back in the day. The original Battlefront, not the newer crap.
Enemy captured the East Armory.
So then you pretty much got to defend this base, which you got some NPCs around here that'll help defend it. And I thought there was a terminal that you had to access to gain access to things. And see down, see there's the terminal. And I got level 2, looks like I got level 2 access now. So it's 12 on 12. So press X to access rec station. So level 2 access so I can change my weapons now. Trying to remember what all these weapons are. So silencer. So you have to replace the equipment. Yeah, so that's the silencer, okay. So I'm going to do the one with connected bolts, because remember the connected bolts helps take out vehicles better. I also got access to battle rifle. Standard battle rifle and battle rifle with laser targeting. Laser targeter increases weapon accuracy, that's cool. So we're going to replace the pistol. And what else was there? Armor mods, power weapons. So here we are. You got your loadouts, which doesn't use like any kind of quantity or anything like that. See how it says unlimited use below it? But you go to your power weapons, like the cards I opened up earlier, you got a certain number of them. Plasma turrets, shotgun swords, all that kind of stuff. You gotta gain more. See, I'm at like level 2 rec. You gotta gain like a higher rec. Go to vehicles. You can access the warthogs right away, so that's kind of cool. So if you're playing with a friend, you can actually gain access. You can actually get a warthog out right away and just drive over and start mowing people down. speed boost. There we go. We'll use up a speed boost. So it is kind of pay to win because you can, if you run out of the cards, you can just, you know, actually pay for rec points and loot and crap like that. It is loot box based. It's random. A lot of people don't like that. I actually don't have a problem with it. I actually didn't really mind this mode at all because to me it kept all the DLC free, and to me that was a good trade-off. And you don't have to buy anything. You can still earn it. It's not like Battlefront 4 where you had to put like 4,000 hours to unlock Darth Vader after paying $80 for the special edition of the game or some crap like that. So I actually thought it did well with this game. So, and then of course, like some enemies will pop up on the sides of the map. Like, oh, here we are, like that, the Soldier Enforcer. So you can team up and take him out and gain some extra points. So, you know, so you can win the game faster. Oh, these are, I'm forgetting to play on red. I gotta shoot the blue guys, duh. Oh, he's got a flying thing. Awesome. So on the bottom of the screen shows I'm at rec level 3, so I can go exchange weapons and stuff if I want to. See, that's just an NPC. Oh, that's a real guy.
Enemy captured the West Armory.
So if Halo I think it's called Halo Infinity, the Halo that they teased. So this rec station access, here we are. Got the battle rifle already. So that's one with the laser targeter. I'm going to keep this one here. So let's go to, ooh, power weapons. Grenade launcher, energy sword, plasma caster, hammer, random weapon. I thought there was a fuel rod gun. Oh, okay, gotta scroll down more. Duh. Yeah, fuel rod gun, rocket launcher, incineration cannon. Let's see. Yeah, Scorpion tank is level 6. Oh, it just started for me. It took too long. That's okay. So yeah, I mean, if the new Halo that they tease is coming out, if it's based more on the original Halo style, but still had this mode in it, I'd actually be pretty happy with it. I don't really know how popular Warzone is. I remember a lot of people complaining about it back in the day, but I don't have a problem with it. I actually think it's pretty good. So like Ghost, I got 6 Ghosts in my inventory, so I'm going to use up a Ghost. Now here's the thing. If you're using one of these up, you better plan on being on it for a while, because, you know, just like any vehicle, you can die on it, it can be jacked, any of that stuff.
Reinforcements are needed to fight Tank Master Rock.
So yeah, like whoever takes this character out, they'll get 100 VP points. Like you see the points in the bottom right of the map there. You know, it's like territories, but you'll get that added. And if you kill people, that gets added to your points as well. I might get the kill on them all myself. Oh, here's a buddy. What's up, buddy? You know what? I'm gonna boost behind him. Oh, that was a dumb move. So, oh, looks like we're getting level 4 access here in just a second. Got access to submachine guns now. Power up, you know, active camo, overshields, just all that stuff. So, you know, this level 4 access.
Defend our core, Spartan.
There we go, level 4 access. So we're gonna.
Core at 75%.
Yeah, we'll do a fuel rod gun.
50%. Wreck confirmed.
Nope. They took out our main base, so it doesn't matter.
Destroyed our core. That's a loss, Spartans.
So I'm starting to remember this better now. So basically, the team to win is the one that takes out the main base first, or the one that has the most points at the end. I think it's first to 1,000 as well. Yeah, not too bad of a game mode. I enjoy it. No battle royale, but we're gonna play one more match here, and then we'll bring this video to a close. But like, if I open up the red packs here, so is all the goodies I get. And let's see, how do you purchase them? Yeah, here we are. Yeah, I mean, you could purchase rec packs if you want, or you can purchase the points. 34 times gold pack, 13. Yeah, I ain't paying $100 for anything on this. But then here you buy the actual packs themselves with your points. Let's see, yeah. Of course, you know, like however much more you spend, you get higher chance of getting better stuff. Straight ripping pack. That was Ninja's clan, if I remember correctly. Like the HCS pack, I gotta spend 80,000 points or $9.99. I'd rather just build up the 8,000 points. Like the gold pack, it's 10,000 points or $2.99. I can spend 2,000 points here. Let's see what I get. Ooh, sniper rifle. That might have paid off. I don't remember how many tanks I have in my inventory. I'll sell one. So you can actually sell some of the stuff back to get pip points back in your inventory. I sell all that crap, all the Promethean stuff. But yeah, I got sniper rifles now, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, the microtransactions, it's pay to win, but it's nothing that you can't get by playing the game at a normal pace. It's not like a 4,000 hour thing. To me, Halo, as much as I'm crapping on Halo 5 in this video, I like the Warzone. I actually like how they set up the microtransactions in this game.
Initiating Warzone simulation. Old bases take
If Halo 5 was just Warzone mode in itself, and it's like a $10 game or a free-to-play game or something like that, I think it would actually be a really, really popular, well-done game. And it's an example of microtransactions and loot boxes done right, or at least done decently good. So, and I don't know how many people actually agree with me, but I don't really jump on the microtransaction hate too much, or the loot box hate. As long as it's done well, then I'm fine with it. Because I've been wanting to get into a separate video on this, but I know it's going to get disliked all to hell. But who cares? But I mean, I'll touch up on it a little bit. If you look at the price of the development of a video game, oops, I didn't mean to throw a grenade. I meant to boost. If you look at the price of developing a video game now compared to what it used to be, like just an average AAA game, you look at the cost. Like a game retails, it's like an average suggested retail of $60, and that's still the mindset of a full-priced game. Which, when you adjust that for inflation and compare that to what full-price games used to cost, like in 80s and 90s, especially the 90s, like in the Super Nintendo's life, I mean, you had games that were coming out at $70 and even a little bit more, like $72. You know, like your Star Fox, your Donkey Kong Country, and things like that. And then, of course, PlayStation came out, CD-based games came out, and they were able to drop the price a little bit. And then with Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation, and so on, with the exception of the first Wii, the suggested price of games rose to $60. And that's kind of what the standard's been. And that's pretty cheap when you adjust it for inflation. I'm not saying games should go up. I'm just saying that's what the market value is for a video game. That's what the perception is, and that's just what it is. And because games cost more to make and to adjust for inflation and things like that, developers have to find other ways to make money to get a return on their investment. And that's just the economics of it. Whether they merchandise it, whether they advertise it, whether they buy t-shirts, or whether there's microtransactions or DLC. That's the way it is. The alternative is to sell a game for $70 or $80 brand new now, which, might actually happen in the near future. The problem that I have with microtransactions, let's see if I can grab a vehicle, Warthog, and a teammate. 13 Warthogs. Hell yeah, I got a lot of Warthogs. The problem I have with games with microtransactions and DLC, and I've talked about this in my Destiny video a little bit, is because the perception of a full price game is $60, and still is, and it is with myself as well. The problem isn't games having microtransactions or not, or DLC. It's offering a full value for your game that you're paying full price for. So if I spend a full price of $60, I can even find a gunner. If I'm spending a full $60 for a game, a full price for a game, I better get a $60 value for the game that I played. And regardless of the inflation stuff, $60 is still full price for a game. So if you're spending full price for a game, you better get a full value. It's like I better get a good story, I better get good gameplay, I better get good enjoyment. Come on, get in. Come on, I need a gunner. I paid money for this Warthog. Game currency, not real money. So yeah, if you're ever gonna use one of your Warthogs up, see, there's another one right there. All right. Get in, come on. If you get in, you can shoot. We could kill that guy. I can drive around him, and you can shoot him with this great big cannon on the Warthog. Stupid noob. So yeah, if you're going to pay full price for a game, you better get a full price value. You better get $60 worth of enjoyment and gameplay out of a game. So if you're going to microtransaction the game after that, that's fine, as long as you're still getting a full price value. You look at Star Wars Battlefront 4, yes, I know I'm talking about Battlefront 2, I refuse to call it that. You spent $60 in that game, but in order to enjoy it, you gotta spend more money to unlock additional characters, or you can play through the game, but it takes 4,000 hours to unlock characters that were supposed to be included with the game. And that's just unacceptable. You're not getting the value out of the game that you paid for. I just ran him over. So yeah, that's pretty much my problem with microtransactions. That's microtransactions, that's DLC, that's season passes, or the online passes. Not battle, online passes. Like, remember when they started doing that about 8 years ago? That became a thing. Ah, come on, I just need a gunner. Yeah, I'm not picking a Warthog again. So, I mean, yeah, that's my problem with expansions, with Destiny, all that stuff. So, Ooh, what's a sniper? Oh, sniper rifle gotta be level 6. That sucks. So we'll just respawn. I pull up the map. So I wish I could pull up a map. That's okay. But another way I look at microtransactions, I know that one of the main criticisms is people think, well, if it's pay to win, and you buy the game, you're progressing through it normally, and you play it for a while, and you're building up skill, and you're building up points, and then someone new comes along, pays extra money for a character, you know, like Battlefront, and then all of a sudden they just own the whole thing, or they pay a microtransaction for a weapon, and then they're just unstoppable. That is a problem, which brings me back to the whole full price value, full price enjoyment for what the value of, you know, gameplay value for what you paid for. You know, does the game give offer the satisfaction for what you paid for? Hopefully I'm not sounding like a bumbling idiot because I'm trying to play at the same time. But the way I look at stuff like that, like the pay-to-win stuff, and the game has to be set up for it, has to be built around it. If like this game for let's say this game for example, I buy this game and I play this game and I start off and I'm doing okay at it, and as I'm gradually getting better, you know, like here's your base skill level. Let's hide in the corner here. Like, you know, you buy the game, you start off, here's your base skill level. As you play the game more, your skill goes up. All of a sudden, this new kid comes along, and you're trying to unlock, like, you know, whatever special character up here, you know, so you can, you know, be more powerful. New player comes along, pays the DLC, unlocks new character. That should bring his skill level up to right here. It should not be up here. It shouldn't even be level. It should be like just below the person that's playing the game legit, not paying for any of the pay-to-win stuff. So that way, he's able to compete with these guys, but not surpass them. So it offers like a level playing field. So this person right here that bought the game legit, your core audience is enjoying the game, still has a chance to beat this guy, but offers a balanced, enjoyable experience for everyone. Then, as he's unlocking that character legit, it brings him up here, and as this character is playing the game more and more and gradually getting better, that brings him back up here. Hopefully I'm explaining that well enough. That's how I look at how pay-to-win stuff should be. And again, your game has to be built around it. You can't just shove a pay-to-win model into any game and just expect it to work. So I think pay-to-win models can easily work, even in full-price games, if they're done correctly. I just don't think a lot of companies do it correctly. I don't think they should be regulated. I don't think loot boxes should be regulated. I don't think it's a form of gambling, even though technically it is. I do look at it like baseball cards, and if it gets regulated, there's going to be unintended consequences. And like here's a good example. Like the new Battlefront, for example. Let's say the government tries to regulate it and say, okay, you can't have loot boxes. They're going to find a way around that. And it's like, well, how would they find a way around that? You know, well, they might do like some sort of software patch or release it in a way that, let's see, what's a good power weapon here? 8 saws. Yeah, let's equip a saw. I love the saw. They do some sort of kind of software patch, or they roll it out in a different way that just gets by the language just enough to where they can still have your microtransactions. And then another up-and-coming company releases a game. They release it on Steam or PC or whatnot, and it can actually be a great game, and they figure out that great way to have microtransactions where people go, yeah, everyone should make it like that. That actually works. But they can't do it because of the new government regulation. Or EA, with the new Battlefront, gets around that, and they organize it in a way that, you know, words it correctly, so then they have to pass more regulation. And then all of a sudden EA goes, okay, I came up with... Oh man, I got a tank already. Oh crap. they decide to go. Am I back to level 1? Oh, okay. So I remember that now. So when you use your tech level, see how I'm at max level 4? Because I used up that tech currency, I have to wait for it to build back up before I buy something again. So I remember that now.
West Armory captured.
Sorry to get off track here. So let's say, for example, government passes even more regulation, get rid of more loot boxes, the loot box form of microtransactions. So then to get around it completely,
Captured the East Armory.
EA releases this new collectible trading card game. You know, like the Wizards of the Coast Star Wars game or Magic the Gathering.
Hijack Mantis.
And then, like, okay, nice little cool card game. But for every pack you buy, you get a free card with a scratch it code to unlock a random loot item in the next Battlefront game. And then people will start suing them, wait, we outlawed loot boxes and microtransactions in the game. And they're like, no, see, this is a card game that includes a free loot box. So they're going to find a way to get around that, which any company does. If I was the CEO of that company, that's what I would fucking do. Pardon my language. And then all of a sudden they try to take it a step further. Government tries to pass more regulation to stop them from doing that. All of a sudden you now made games like Magic the Gathering illegal. Or trading card games, or just anything like that illegal. So you're going to have unintended consequences. And to think a model like that wouldn't work, like, oh, well, you can't really release a game and have, like, you know, free something to include in the game. Bullcrap. If you remember the World of Warcraft trading card game, that used to come with turtle mounts, spectral tiger mounts, all that crap, and they used to sell on eBay for like $100. God, I remember my friend Jeremy got a spectral tiger mount. He I forgot what he traded for it. He traded like $100 worth of stuff to get the spectral tiger mount. That was a random drop in a physical pack of cards. So you had loot boxes back then, and that was almost 10 years ago. Yeah, it was about 10 years ago. So you had loot boxes back then. No one complained about it until it was actually something that was purchased digitally. So, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about loot boxes and microtransactions. I don't think they should be legal, or I don't think they should be regulated. I think they should be legal, and I think people should just be smarter in terms of how they spend their money and how they let their kids spend their money. So, and if you're worried about your kid racking up a couple $1,000s in your credit card, you shouldn't be letting your kid you shouldn't let your kid have access to your credit card. I mean, my parents had to worry about, or parents when I was a kid had to worry about stuff like that with kids making long distance phone calls. If you don't know what the long distance paid phone call is, then you used to have to pay money to call someone on telephone that lived more than 30 miles away. Sounds like blasphemy now. I mean, you can call people on the other side of the country, in some cases on the other side of the planet, not to pay extra. But back then, it cost a lot of money. So, but you know, that was phone lines back then. So, that's how it was. Didn't mean to get too off topic with the microtransactions. Actually, no, it's pretty on topic. So, and I forgot how to unlock additional weapons and stuff like that. I know there's a way to do it. Actually, I think they're included with the rep packs. This is funny, I was crapping on Halo 5 at the beginning of this video. I'm actually enjoying this Warzone. I'm sucking at it. Never know, I might hop back into it. But yeah, I mean, the game was $60 when it came out, Halo 5. It didn't have a Forge mode. It didn't have too many standard matchmaking options. The story sucked. Warzone was good, but it was microtransaction based, and it didn't have enough to offer to validate the full $60 price tag. Now, if Halo 5 would have cost $40, or if it had a great story, it would have been a better game. Or if it had just like better matchmaking, more traditional gameplay, it would have been good. But it wasn't that total package. But that being said, I do like the Warzone mode. So, and I've never bought any microtransactions in this game. So, oh, and I lost again. That's okay. But yeah, I mean that's my video of Halo 5. That's my rant of Halo 5. Overall, the game still sucks, but I like the Warzone mode. So I like it for what it is. So it's unfortunate they didn't add a split screen, that they cut that from Halo 5. But yeah, that's my Halo 5 video. Not a lot to talk about really. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like it, please thumbs up. If you don't like it, considering I defended loot boxes and microtransactions, I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs downs. So please thumbs up to counter those thumbs downs. I'll see you on the next video, and talk to you guys later.